Hello and welcome back. So today we're going to be going over one more problem that involves conditional statements for more practice. So this problem is, given the three integer side lengths of a triangle, we want to determine whether the triangle is equilateral, isosceles, or scalene. And so by equilateral, all three sides of the triangle must be equal. If it's isosceles, only two of the sides need to be equal, and if it's scalene, none of the sides of the triangle are equal. So we can begin by declaring the three variables that represent the three sides of the triangle. So let's call them side 1, side 2, and side 3. And we can also input the variables in by using cn. So we'll do cn side 1, side 2, and side 3. Okay, let's now see how we can use conditionals to determine whether this triangle is equilateral, isosceles, or scalene. So let's first check if it's equilateral. And if it's equilateral, we know that all three sides must be equal. So let's write an if statement for this. So we have if, and let's enter our condition here. We know that side 1 must equal side 2, and we know that side 2 must equal side 3. And so this checks for whether or not all three sides are equal. And if they are, we want to see out equilateral triangle. So one thing to notice is that you cannot do if side 1 is equal to side 2 is equal to side 3. This is not valid and will result in an error. So if you have two statements that you want to check to see if both of them are true, then you have to use the and sign. Okay, so here we have our first if statement done that evaluates whether or not the triangle is equilateral. So if it's not equilateral, then it can be isosceles, and this means two sides are equal. So we can check with this with an else if statement. So again, we'll be first going over this if statement and checking if it's equilateral, and if it's not, then we'll be going over to this if statement. So to check if two sides are equal, we can go through each of the pair of sides and compare them with each other and check if they're equal. So we can do if side 1 is equal to side 2, or if side 2 is equal to side 3, or if side 3 is equal to side 1. And one thing to note, the reason why we're using or signs here instead of and signs is because in order for the triangle to be isosceles, any one of these conditions needs to be met. Either side 1 equals side 2, or side 2 equals side 3, or side 3 equals side 1. Whereas over here, in order to be an equilateral triangle, both of these conditions have to be met, of side 1 equaling side 2, and side 2 equaling side 3. So anyways, we know if this condition is met, then we can do see out isosceles triangle. Okay, so after we've checked whether or not the triangle is equilateral or isosceles, we know that if it hasn't met any of these if statements, then it must be scalene, because we would have already determined that no two sides are equal to each other. So all three sides must be unequal to each other. So then we can just see out scalene. Okay, so let's test our program. So let me input three numbers. I'll do 3, 3, 3. And here we get equilateral triangle like we should, because all three side lengths that I inputted are equal to each other. So let's check if 5, 5, 4 returns isosceles, and it does. And let's check the numbers 3, 7, and 5. And here we get the right answer too. Okay, so thank you for watching, and be sure to check out our next videos. And also don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. Thank you.